Hello, my name is D.A.Steele and welcome to my basic guitar lessons for beginners. This is my Ready for Jamming series. It's my second one. In my first series I did showed you how to play the D and the A chord, and in this series we're going to go through the C chord and the G chord. So as we did in the first series, we numbered our fingers 1, 2, 3 and 4, and we'll also go through some of the problems that we have when we play these chords for the first time. Mainly squeezing down on the strings when you're trying to play your chord for the first time is one of the problems that a lot of people have. You only need to squeeze down the strings enough so that they're touching the steel frets. I mean, anything more than that and you start damaging your fingers and you can do damage to your wrists. So it's important to always keep aware of that. And the other problem that we have is when we play our chord, sometimes our fingers can touch other strings that they're not supposed to, but I'll go a little bit deeper into that once we go through this chord. So okay, we'll start off with our C chord. And we'll take our first finger, which is finger 1, that goes onto the first fret, onto the second string from the bottom. Our second finger goes onto the second fret, that goes onto the 4th string from the bottom, this one here, and our third string goes onto the 3rd fret, onto the 5th string from the bottom. So we put those all into place. Now before we strum our chord, as we did in the first series, we went through each note and made sure that each note was ringing clearly and not being touched by one of your fingers, which can cause dead sounds in your chords. So we'll just go through that, go through each string, make sure that they're all ringing clearly. That one's fine, that's fine, fine. Okay, well that's what you want to hear, is nice, clear, clean sounds on each note. What often happens is you can have your fingers just touching other strings, such as, if I go through this again. Okay, you can hear down on the bottom string, this first finger is just touching. You can either touch it, be accidentally touching it with your finger, or sometimes as you're pressing up against the bottom of the guitar, this part of your hand can touch that bottom string and can give you that sort of a sound, which is not what you want. So you got to just make sure that your hands are clear from the bottom of the neck, and each finger is just touching the string that it needs to touch, and just enough pressure on each of those metal guitar frets. So we'll just go through that again. Put each one, that first one goes on to the second string, 1st fret, second finger onto the 2nd fret, 4th string, and our 3rd finger goes on to the 3rd fret, 5th string. So just to clear that, go through each string again. Oops, that sounded terrible. So there you go. This is what I'm talking about, is you need to make sure your fingers are clear, and only those strings that you need to play are played properly. So you can see that 3rd string, I was touching that 3rd string, so it just needs to be a bit readjusted. Okay, that should be okay there. Right, we're ready to go. So all you got to do, strum that down and we're done. So thank you for that, and I'll see you next time for the G chord. Goodbye.